Hey y'all, how you doing today? Alrighty, back out in the garage. I'm going to do a little bit more work on on the front of the 318, the $50 318, which is substituting right now as my mock-up engine. Um, the thing is there's a lot of things that are going to have to happen, and I don't want the dirt or the crud to go down in the 318, and I definitely don't want it to go down into the 360. So that's why I'm using the 318. The 318 is on, it's hence its name, $50. That's all I've got in it. Okay, so um, I'm making a template to mount my power steering pump. Um, so that's going to be another little thing that's going to have to be taken care of. I've already done, you've probably seen in a prior video where I've already done a little bit of work on making the template. I've got the basics down pat. I'll show you. Okay. Now, for those of you who are uninitiated to making templates, this does not look like much, but this is very important. Reason being, without this, I cannot make that. I can't get it to go on that. So, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do a little cutting on here, cutting on this here to make this to where it's a little more flowing, I guess you could say. And it's going to have to, I may have to shed some off of this here. Okay. I'm definitely this bolt hole up here. I'm going to put a mark on that to remind myself that this is just for locating this, and it is not to bolt. It is a bolt hole that is in the head. So these three holes here are for the power steering pump down there. Okay. This particular bolt hole will be going into the cylinder head, which is right there. Okay, so see that bolt hole right there, which corresponds with this. So hopefully I've got this worked out. Now, you might say, why not just go ahead and use metal and get rid of this step altogether? Well, here's the problem with that. One is metal, in comparison to this, metal is really expensive. Okay? Even if somebody gave you a piece of metal, it's still somewhat more expensive. And it's harder to work than this. It's significantly harder to work than this. So, this is easier to work. It's way cheaper. And if you make a mistake with this, hey, guess what? You just go get another piece of cardboard. Now, you'll notice I'm using the single-sided cardboard. I'm not using the double-sided corrugated cardboard, okay? Like what this gasket box is made out of. Right here, this is the double-sided corrugated. So this is just single-sided. Works plenty good enough for this. No problems, no issues whatsoever. So I'm going to do a little trimming on this, and I'll get right back to you, okay? So we'll get back to this and show you a little bit more in just a minute. Okay, y'all, and here we go. Done a little trimming on it. I think this is going to work. Let's just go look, check and see, make sure. All right. So let's see. Yeah, okay, that's going to work there and there. Okay. So I put on here, I just realized what I goofed up and done wrong. I put on here, it says, don't copy, locating bolt hole. I do need to copy that in the bracket because the bracket needs to attach to the cylinder head. So I've got myself my first little problem. By doing that, it pushes the power steering pump out just a little bit. The thickness of whatever metal I decide to use. Which brings up another little bit of information here. Another little problem. If I go and I stick to this little plan here, then I've got to come up with a piece of metal that's going to work just fine. Okay, so let's go around here. Got some pieces of metal over here. Do I have anything that's going to be ideal for that? No. That won't work. I'm not seeing nothing down there that will work either. This might have... That might be just the ticket right there. I've been sitting on this. Well, I've been waiting to use this for something for a long time. So, yeah, I may do that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else over here that I can use. Let me go over here to my other stockpile of metal. Now these bars like this are actually pretty nice. They're pretty thick. Here's this here. May have to use, however I use these smaller pieces, I may have to weld them together in order to get what I want. This is really nice and thick, but I'm kind of fearful that it may be too thick, or it may be, if it's too thick, then it may throw off the alignment of the pulleys and everything. So, yeah. Of course, we don't want it too thin. If it's too thin, then it will flex and wobble and walk around and everything like that. This isn't bad. Let's look at something here. Let's see. Will this... No, that won't work for that. Nope, just too small. Too small. But that's okay. There'll be another use for it somewhere down the road. Yeah, if I can make it out of just one piece of steel, that's going to be a lot better than 2 or 3. You know. So, that larger piece of steel over there on the other side of my truck, I think is going to be just a ticket. I'm not cutting it out tonight because, for one, it's getting late. 2 is I want to put the harmonic balancer back on this, and then just once I get the harmonic balancer back on, I want to put the serpentine belt pulley, crank pulley on, and get everything kind of sighted up. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, like, this has got to be in line. AC compressor's got to be in line with the alternator, and the alternator's got to be in line with this, and it's got to be in line with the water pump pulley and the crank pulley. And water pump pulley is not quite as important to be in line with because of the simple fact it's a smooth pulley, and the belt runs on the back side of the belt. So, but I've got a new water pump for this also. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and bolt the water pump pulley, water pump on, and the crank pulley back on, or the crank harmonic balancer and the crank pulley back on. So that's what I'm going to do real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all. We're back here. I've got the harmonic balancer just sitting on here. I've run it down. I've got it bottomed out. I've got my pulley on here, and I've got the AC condenser bolted down. AC compressor. Sorry, got it bolted down, and I got my alternator bolted down, and they all line up really, really well. I'm really happy about that. Really excited. So now I thought I would bring y'all back here and open up the water pump. Got this water pump like years and years ago. 5 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. So, okay. So this is a brand new one. This is not a remake. So, all right. Let's see. Let's get this thing. All right. Let me set you all down here so you can see what's going on. Okay. All right. See. So we got. Okay. The basic footprint of both water pumps is generally the same. The old one and the new one. So, as you can see right here, this part right here, might be some clearance. Oh, sorry. There might have to be a little clearancing right there where that nipple goes in right there. Now, this, where I'm pointing to with my index finger there, that there's a large nipple that goes in there, pipe nipple, and goes in there, and it's down in there in the box. And then there's a bypass hose that goes from there to the intake manifold, which yes, a little too dark in there. But we'll get that worked out too. So, anyway, let me set this down and get a couple of bolts put in that so that I can get a better idea of everything. So, let's see. So there's that. Let's see. Okay. Got some more hardware here that might come in handy. Honestly, I think that's a little bit long for that particular hole there. There's a bolt up here. Oh yeah, there it is. I think this will do fine. No, too short. Just my luck. Okay. Ain't that the way it always goes? Okay. I'll just throw this in there for right now. Yeah, this is all looking great. This is really, really, really great. It's like, yeah, it's kind of exciting, really, because I'm getting this stuff bolted on, and it's like, wow, this is actually working. I mean, I was thinking in my head for a long time that this stuff would work, and it's actually starting to work out here. So, let me get a light here and show you something. Okay, so hopefully you can see. You see that nipple back in there? Yeah. Yeah, see that one back there hooks up to right here. Okay. So the LA water pump has a different configuration right here on the water pump. So anyway, okay. So next, I'm going to hang this power steering pump right here. I'm just going to put a bolt in there, hang it on there, and see how it looks. See how it works out. So, yeah. Okay, so that's a better look right there. Yeah, see, a nipple back there on the intake will have to connect to this. That's the bypass. So, okay. I think you can see right there. So, okay. Now let's see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now, I've just got that run down there. Let me see if I can run it down a little bit more. Get a little time. There we go. That's a little better. I think that's going to work. I really, really, really think that's going to work. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to work out really nicely. So, get a grease rag here. That power steering pump's really dirty, really greasy. No big deal though. No big problem. Yeah. Okay. Let me get y'all off the floor there and let y'all see what I'm seeing. Okay. Here we go. Power steering pump. And if you look, if you sight everything, you can literally sight everything up, and it looks very much like everything's going to like just work, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, there is one more item that I have not addressed. I have not done anything to think of. I haven't even thought about this thing until now. And it's this guy right here. That's my tensioner. Okay, there's a pulley that goes on here, grooved pulley. So this goes on the front of the head. This guy does. So that's going to be a problem. And I've got, I don't have a whole lot of bolt holes on this head. So I've got to come up with an alternative. So I see some bolt holes here that I might be able to use. Yeah, let's see. Just noticed some bird poop on my truck. Bird poop is just really, really toxic, acidic. Okay, yeah, I'm noticing some holes here. I know what this hole is for. This is actually for the dipstick tube. The dipstick tube comes up here and bolts onto here. this, let's see. Let's see. Well, you know what? Probably need to look at an actual Magnum engine and see how. Because, see, there's these bolt holes here, okay? And then you got this bolt hole and this bolt hole. And then you got one here. I mean, if I have to, I can come off of here with some sort of plate bracket that will have just this portion, not this part. Okay, so not this part, but it'll have just this part. Okay, just this, the tensioner itself. So a plate bracket that'll come off of here, and the tensioner will bolt to that, and then I may have one or two bolts running down here, one bolt running here, and maybe a bracket running down from here, from the plate that's here, and another bracket running welded to it or bolted to it that'll run down to this cylinder head bolt hole right here, and then maybe another one that'll run down to here to a time cover bolt hole. And there's another timing cover bolt right here. Probably hard to see, but yeah, see, that makes it a little easier. Okay, so that's something I have not thought much about, is that guy right there. And it's important. You know, it's really super important. But I think I need, before I carry on any further, I need to look at the serpentine drive setup on my truck, because I want to see, make sure how that works. Let's see, I've got see, here's my pulley for that. Okay, so that's my pulley for the tensioner assembly. So let's go look at an actual real Magnum engine and see how the belt pulley arrangement is, because it may, I've moved my truck forward so I can't get in front of it. Alright, so let's walk around here. Okay, y'all. We are back, and I'm looking at my 239 Magnum V6, and same accessory setup on the front of this is what you'll find on the 318 and 360 Magnum. So here I see this is sitting just beneath the bolt where the bolts go in flush at here. Okay, so I'm thinking what somebody will have to do is I will have to make a bracket that will sit flush on here, and then we'll have a little step down to where this can sit like this one here does. Okay, so thinking just for mock-up, I might be able to use that one bolt hole on the cylinder head to get at least some idea of where everything's supposed to go. So let me go try that. Yeah, let's just go back here and try that. Okay, maybe. Okay, be right back. Okay, y'all. All right. The $50 318 is definitely proving its worth here, because I'm able to use it as a really good test stand to mock all of this stuff up on. Okay. Why do we want to do it like this? So that we can check everything, make sure things are going to line up, things are going to work. Okay. Now you can see the power steering pump is off just a little bit. I know it looks like in the camera that it's off a lot, but it isn't. It's not off that much. And let's keep something else in mind. There's only one bolt holding that thing on. Okay? I haven't yet made the bracket, and all the holes are lining up. They're not perfect, but they're lining up. So that's good. I'm you know, take your victories where you can. This here is cocked just a little bit because I've got washers behind it right there, as you can see. And those washers aren't perfect, so they've kind of got this part cocked like this, and this is a little bit loose too. I have it that's just finger tight. So the only thing I'm lacking right now is probably the idler that goes right here. I thought I had an idler, and I probably do. I just haven't laid hands on it yet. So that's going to be one of the next things. But I can still get those brand new at like most parts stores. So, and a belt. I'm going to go all the way and put a belt on this too. Not in the current situation it's in right now, okay? I will, once I've got this bracket made, and then this bracket, these brackets made over here, then I will move on with that. But I've got to get some things. I've got to get the bracket made for this and that, and once I do, then those will be finalized, and I can move forward on all that. However, once I get a belt and an idler, I might be able to figure out maybe even a better place for this, another place for it, or a better place for it. Who knows at this stage? So anyway, all right. All right. Been a lot of work went on here, a lot of mocking up and everything like that. That's what this is. So I want to say thank you very much to all my subscribers. I really do seriously appreciate it, as usual. And you all are, part of what makes this channel work. Part of what makes this channel grow. So, and I love that. I love that interaction between me, the creator, and you all, the ones viewing the videos. I hope you were able to get something out of this. However, this is my first time using the cardboard as a template to make a template to mock this stuff up. Okay. And if you are far more experienced at this, feel free to comment down below. Let's keep it positive, though, okay? Yeah. But if you have any tips on how to do this, a little more effectively or a little more efficiently, I'll definitely be listening. So, but everything here is looking, so far everything is looking really, really great. I've just got to make my brackets. I've got to make a template for the tensioner, and I've got to make the bracket for the power steering pump and get all of that squared away. Once that's all done, then I can start moving on again with the 360 and getting bits and pieces bolted back onto that. Because I'm kind of at a point right now where I don't have anything else I can be doing on it other than changing. I've got valve springs on one side I got to change out. So that's another little thing got to get done. So, but anyway, all right. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, comments, ideas, anything, you know what to do. You're smart. Put it down there below. Okay? And I'll respond as best I can as soon as I can. And one of my viewers has requested a video on the Barracuda. It is coming. Okay? So, just so you know, I haven't forgot about you. It's coming. I'm just waiting for basically a day off because I'm out here. I'm working a 40-hour week job, and I come out here sometimes in the evening and I do this. And so there you go. it's not that easy sometimes, as you can imagine. All right, enough of me rambling on. Thank you, and God bless, and have a great one.